Hey everybody, welcome to Tell Me I'm Wrong. This week we decided that we're just gonna chat a little bit for a few minutes. We don't have a full-length episode for you. If we're being honest, the holidays and all of 2020 kind of got on top of us a little bit. And we discovered that it's a little hard to wrap up this year in one concise, even if it's a 50-minute episode. What do you guys think?
Yeah, we had big grand plans for this year and thought we'd do something in true Tell Me I'm Wrong style. However, in looking back on the year in a nice retrospective, turned out it was a lot more down than ups this year.
Surprise!
And we were not able to mine much comedy gold out of that, and just decided to leave y'all wanting more.
And even if we could mine comedy gold, it's probably not the appropriate time to do that.
No. So we figured we would just hang out for a few minutes, let everybody catch their breath from 2020 and hope for a better 2021, and come back and be back on our bullshit next week.
Maybe at some point we can, with some time, we can look back on this year and make some jokes. But I think we all agree it's a little too soon.
That'll be the 2021 year-end special. We'll make fun of 2020.
Maybe 2025.
Yeah. Yeah. By then we can laugh about it, right?
Yeah, we can look back. It might be a while before we look back on this whole year and just chuckle. May not ever happen.
You could say that. Maybe when we have grandkids, we can look back and be like, oh, yeah, we spent a whole year inside and got fat. It was great.
The worst part would be if another year's worse and we look back and think, man, we thought 2020 was bad.
Oh gosh, let's not. Oh man, I can't even think about that.
Actually, that is true. In 5 years, when the world is a literal Mad Max hellscape, 2020 is going to be hilarious.
For the record, Mad Max is set in 2021.
Oh, fantastic.
Why has no one said that yet?
I'm just glad that I bought that Zombie Survival Guide handbook a few years back. I'm ready. I'm totally prepared.
That's going to come in good use. I mean, honestly, this is probably going to be our last episode because we're going to have to sell our equipment and start building our big semi truck to go fight the highway wars. So
I'm gonna have to turn this blue snowball into like a radio, like a CB radio, so I can contact people.
You could do that, or like hook a string to it, and it's like a giant boomerang weapon.
Ooh,
there you go. It could do some damage. So I guess we're gonna have to actually strategize a little bit now that we know this very key information. However, I was curious. Something we did want to talk about on an episode was, assuming 2021 is not going to turn into some dusty wasteland. What you got any resolutions?
I really want to start drinking more.
Oh,
yeah. I feel like
that's a choice.
Our experiences with Perry on this is my bourbon pod, shout out. It's really turned me on to liquor, and I think I just want to start drinking more.
You know, a lot of people actually ended up making that their resolution this year. So
yeah, see, I feel like I got behind on that because I actually didn't really drink that much this year.
I know a couple people whose resolution was, I'm going to start drinking.
Oh, that's a good one too.
But since you're already doing it, I think more is achievable. Honestly,
yeah.
Well, I think mine is. This one's going to be really hard. So. You know, usually I would probably joke about like, oh, I'm not going to like do anything to cause a global panic, but like
you might. So
that's not funny anymore.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go with something simple. Well, not so simple. It's going to be very hard for me, but I'm going to actively try to suppress my urge to mention to somebody every day that I own a Peloton.
Well, you've mentioned it, I think 3 times on our podcast already. So
they are the new CrossFitters.
Oh my gosh, that is dead on, Joe. The Peloton is the new CrossFit cult.
This may be our last podcast, anyways, because he may refuse to hang out with us anymore because we don't have a Peloton and we're not part of the existing.
We don't have a Peloton tattoo on our forehead.
Yeah, I'm only starting a podcast with Cody Rigsby and Alex Toussaint.
Oh no, we're gonna have a Peloton topic, aren't we?
Well, I think we're gonna have to.
Me and Ryan could debate how big of a loser you are for spending that much money on a stationary bicycle.
Me and Joe could debate what's worse, CrossFit people or Peloton people,
and the answer would be Josh.
Those are all good. We'll have to keep those on the list, I think.
Yeah.
Well, regardless, Joe, what is your resolution?
I'm making a resolution to make sure that I tell everyone about our podcast daily.
Daily.
We just, daily, maybe on the hour. And I've told a lot of my friends already, so it's gonna get weird when I'm just walking through Target eventually and being like, hey, do you know I have a podcast called Tell Me I'm Wrong?
I feel like that's the next wave of our marketing is we have to just start telling people.
You know what we should do is like those people who hand out CDs.
Yeah, we'll hand out little USB drives.
Well, that's we just wanted to pop in here because we didn't want to leave you without an episode.
Got to keep that feed live.
Yeah, we got to keep that feed live. Got to keep people listening. But like I said, I promise next week we're coming at you with some hot 90s action.
Classic TMIW debate. Josh versus Joe. It's going to be great.
I'm going to get my ass kicked. It's going to be great. And so join us then. But before we get out of here, we wanted to thank a few people for all their help during 2020. So that is obviously I Elevate for our absolute banger of a theme song, which is Jean Jacket. That is our friend Derek Operly, who hooked us up with some fantastic graphics, made us look so fresh and so clean for 2021. And we're rocking and rolling. And then my sister, Brandy, our Tinder advertiser, who is doing some amazing work with some photos, making us look good. She's the one that helped you all know what we looked like if you listen to this podcast. So thank you to Brandy. And anybody else got anybody to thank?
We definitely need to thank our guests, starting with our very first guest of the year, and that was Elliot Maddox. He was on our episode about the worst movie adaptation to a musical when we talked about Con Air and Jurassic Park.
Should have won, to be fair.
No, we're not.
No.
We're not going back.
We're not relitigating this. But I will say this about Elliot. He just released an awesome video. He had been doing a ton of videos throughout the year with some incredible choreography and with some really talented people. And he just released one to Elton John's Still Standing, which is very appropriate for this year.
We will share that on our socials.
Was it on TikTok?
It probably will end up on TikTok.
It's probably anywhere videos available.
He's a little bit more famous than us. So,
just a smidge.
Next, we want to thank Bo McMillan. He was on our episode about the dad draft, which was one of my favorites of the whole year. He's an excellent guest, and we hope to have him on again very soon in 2021. And finally, Perry Ritter of This Is My Bourbon Pod. And if you haven't listened to episode 156 of his show, we were also guests on his show and had a great time. It's basically another episode of our show because we just took over because there's more of us. So we just bullied our way in.
Unfortunately, we are bad house guests.
We are. So if you have us on your show, just expect us to take over.
And springboard off that, I'd like to just do a special thanks to the people who've helped us throughout this year. We started out with Southern Draw Creations. Do your custom glassware needs, whether that be a UK glass, maybe a Kentucky or Keelan theme, or just something you want specifically made, they can definitely take care of you that. Next, we want to thank My Kentucky Tea, coming out every month with those banging teas. You get on that monthly subscription. My wife does it every month. We really enjoy getting those. $10 a month, t-shirt delivered to your house. Great deal. A custom made, one of a kind. And lastly, we want to thank Device Pit Stop. Device Pit Stop has been a huge supporter of this channel for a long time, a very good friend of the channel, and we are just so thankful for them. They've done amazing things for us, and they have an amazing store, whether it be online or in person. You can go visit. Just a lot of great deals, great electronics at a discounted price. So you got some money left over from Christmas. Maybe you got a new iPad and you want to get rid of your old iPad. They'll happily take it off your hands. Go visit Device Pit Stop at www.devicepitstopky.com. And they're actually running a promo for us right now. If you enter code TMIW, get 10% off. So why not start the new year off with a brand new computer, brand new iPad, brand new whatever. Device Pit Stop is the place for you to go do that. So just thanks for everybody who supported us. There's been a lot of other people who've helped us out. And special shout out to our wives and girlfriends. You guys put up with this every week and give us time to do this. And I know some, my wife has to end up inevitably watching our daughter during this, and that's not easy because she's 3 and mean. But just thankful for all 3 of you all. We really appreciate it.
Thanks, Leah.
Thanks, Erica. Leah, someday you will be on the show. We promise.
I think the chances are better that Sloan, my daughter, makes it on the show before Leah does.
That's actually true.
Well, regardless, we will have some amazing guests this year, more sponsors, more episodes, and it's going to be great. So stick with us, and we will be back next week, and we'll see you then.
Later, losers.
Happy New Year!